thank you everyone very much for joining us today. Super excited to be joined today by Dana Scott. And just for those of you on the call, I want to remind you of a few things for you to note. One, we are in Zoom webinar fashion tonight, which means we do not have the capability to see or hear our participants, but we certainly know you're there. And we certainly encourage you to use the chat feature to ask any questions of us. As your host tonight, Megan Byard-Carava with the Intermediate School District, I am going to be keeping tabs on our chat feature and making sure that we have all of your concerns answered and can certainly spread that to Dana should it be a targeted question for our community foundation. And as I opened with tonight, our session is recorded. We do like to have recordings so that folks can return to the sessions later and catch up, or perhaps even share in a larger group setting, in a classroom, or at a parent meeting, or anything of that nature. So appreciate that information. Those of you joining us tonight, if you could let Dana and I know just a little bit more about yourself and where you might be coming from. What school district are you representing? And are you a parent? Are you a student? Are you a staff person? That would be really helpful for us as we work with any follow-up questions that you might have. So please feel free to use that chat feature of our webinar tonight and make sure you let us know that important information. So without further ado, we only have 30 minutes tonight to talk with Dana Scott from the Community Foundation for Muskegon County. And I want to make sure I really give some adequate time to discuss this really important topic of scholarships. So Dana, talk to us a little bit about maybe what you do at the Community Foundation, and then answering this question: why should you apply for a scholarship?
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. I'm the Scholarship Coordinator at the Community Foundation for Muskegon County. And the reason you should apply is that we have scholarships for all types of individuals: high school graduating seniors, current college students, and adult students. So if you have an older sibling that is going to college, they definitely can apply, or a parent that can apply as well. And like I said, we have scholarships for everybody. It is based, some are based on financial need, some are basically unrestricted. It doesn't matter what your GPA is. Some are based on academics. And yeah, I mean, everybody should apply. And you have a chance to earn some good money to help you with college.
Thank you so much for that, Dana. You know, I think we're really blessed here in the Muskegon County area to have almost that one-stop shop, right, for the number of scholarships that the foundation houses with one application, right? Our students kind of have that luxury of that application, bringing their information and their eligibility to quite a different or a number of different avenues. One of the things that I like to point out to our students, my work with the Intermediate School District, is I get to work with great people like Dana Scott at the foundation, but I also lead our charges with college access in understanding what it means to have that financial means to that next step. And scholarships is always at the forefront of our conversations, and it's always at the fingertips that we're trying to make sure is in our toolbox, right? Of what do we need in our toolbox when it comes to life after high school. And, you know, on your screen here that you're seeing now are just, you know, some really important wonderings that we've had about why do we really need to think about scholarships? And, you know, our seniors are inundated with things that they are doing right now. And many of what they're doing is searching for scholarships and making sure that their applications are completed. And a part of that is because we want them to learn and have that opportunity for education, whether they're staying here locally for school at a community college or Baker, or going off to a university here in the state, or maybe even outside of the state. We want to make sure that our students can do that. but it's expensive. And so we want to make sure our students understand that scholarships can help them focus more on their studies rather than always thinking about that next part-time job so they can afford the college adventure. Or certainly filling that gap, depending on our college choices, it depends on the price tag. And so when you look at scholarships, you can think of it as a way to help fill that gap of how am I going to pay for this adventure that I'm just about ready to start.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to share with you today why you should apply for a scholarship from the Community Foundation for Muskegon County. The next 2 minutes will give you access to over 200 scholarships. So let's go. Last year, the Community Foundation awarded over $1.3 million to support students like you. By completing this one application, you will be submitting for every scholarship you qualify for. And with over 200 scholarships available, that one application can make a big difference. Scholarships aren't just for high school seniors. They're for anyone heading to college or trade school, including adults returning to continue their education. Donors have started funds to support all types of students, those with great grades, those with lower grades but great potential, people with extensive work experience, and those who may excel at community engagement. If you're continuing your education in any way, you should apply for a scholarship. To apply for a Community Foundation scholarship, follow these 3 steps. 1, complete the online application. 2, turn in your transcript, either high school, college, or both, depending on where you are in your educational journey. And 3, send us your student aid report from your financial application for student aid, or Fafsa. Write down this date, February 1. That's the deadline to complete all 3 steps to submit your application. Graduating seniors will find out if they received a scholarship by early April, and older students will find out in early June. Head to muskegonfoundation.org/scholarships to apply today. There you will find additional resources like the application checklist, frequently asked questions, and much more. If you have questions, just email our scholarship team. Contact Dana at muskegonfoundation.org. And don't miss out on money to support your future. Apply today.
Awesome. Dana, what is the average Community Foundation award that folks or students might expect to receive?
The average is $2,000. And we do have one large academic scholarship that is $25,000 that's spread out over 4 years.
Wow. That's really, really cool. I know that we're going to get questions along the way, so I'll try not to ask so many, but I feel like some questions rise to the top that we're constantly answering. So thank you for popping that one in for us. Some points to remember that I just want to make sure we share today with our audience is that it's never too early to begin searching. One of the things that we tell students countywide is as soon as you begin to apply to college, you should also begin that scholarship search. I know that many of our high school counselors in the area suggest that scholarship searching begins their junior year, right? And then trickles and continues on to that senior year once we finalize the application. So it's never too early. We can certainly start to kind of scope things out early on so that we know we're ready and oiled for that senior year when the application does come due. And speaking of applications, I want to make sure that our listeners tonight also know that before you fill out any scholarship application, you always want to preview the eligibility requirements, of course, and then any specific requirements. Now, Dana and the foundation laid out a really nice plan for us in that video of everything that you need to have, right? Your SAR report, your student aid report, right, from your financial aid package as an example. But other scholarships also ask for other specific information. So you're going to want to make sure you kind of do that homework first and then be ready to complete that application. So just some little tidbits and points to remember. So Dana, now we think about after we apply for a scholarship.
So after you apply, February 1st, I download the applications and then I gather all the transcripts and student aid reports that the students gave to me. And then I mark them off on their application, and then I send out an email to all the students saying, yes, I have both documents, or no, I need one or both the documents. And then I give them another 2 weeks to get that information into me. After that, then we start making scholarship selections, trying to match the students up to the specific criteria of each scholarship fund that we have. And we do have over 250 scholarship funds. So it's kind of a long process, but at the end, then we will let the students know early April before college decision day whether or not they received a scholarship.
Nice. Okay. So, gosh, that does sound like a big job. I just envision your desk piled high with applications and trying to get through that task. So I know it all too well. I feel, some of the kind of like the timeliness that you have in that window of time between February 1 and maybe the end of March, April, as we start to hear about awards. So thank you for that. I know in the past, I've been part of your team, right? Been part of your team in reviewing scholarships and taking a look at some of the great things that our kids in the county are doing. So thank you so much for continuing that effort and continuing it as it gets bigger and bigger every year. And this image on your screen that you're seeing now, it's really important to know that our community foundation, you can apply for a scholarship that will put you in many different directions, right? We have several students who are applying for a scholarship because they're off to a 4-year institution, whether it's a private institution or a public institution. But we have many who are looking to go off to a community college. Hopefully that's here in Muskegon, but sometimes it's at Grand Rapids Community College, or maybe even a 2-year program at Ferris State University. So there are a wide variety, but hopefully some of those dollars that our students can earn and use can apply in several different directions on whatever they look to. One of the things that I want to point out, just as a friendly reminder for perhaps maybe even some of the parents who are on our webinar tonight, is what to do with that exciting news. Come springtime, when Dana mentioned that we're starting to learn about all of our scholarships that our students have earned, what do we do with that information, and how do we talk to our kids about kind of tying it up, right? And as attendees tonight, you'll receive our full slide deck with all of our links, and you can take a peek perhaps at that blog article just to get a little bit more information and feel for what we hope to see some of our students do as they earn some of their dollars that they have worked so hard to try to acquire. I want to point out a couple of other things that are really important for our community as other scholarship options. Dana has a wide variety and vast variety of scholarships available through the foundation. There's a wide variety of eligibility. Their due dates also have a variety, but most of them are about and around March 1st. And you can apply for multiple awards at a time and stack them, right? We can have more than one award that can certainly help with the cost of college. Again, hyperlinked for previewing later in our slide deck are where we can find important information, and MCC's hyperlink here is in blue. So a lot of great information for our local institution and our community college. And the same is true for Baker College. We have another institution here in town that offers a phenomenal educational experience for our students. Baker, they have some 2-year programs, many 4-year programs, and incredible results as it pertains to recognition for their career training that they offer. And they too have a wide variety of scholarships that I just want to point out to some of the students and parents that might be on our webinar tonight. Hyperlinked on our slide deck today are Baker College scholarships, where we can really truly understand what's available for our students in that vein. And I would be really remiss if I did not mention, of course, our Muskegon Area Promise Scholarship. Myself, in my role with the ISD, I also manage and mother, if you will. I often tell people I'm the mother of the promise. But that is a very large scholarship opportunity for our students that we serve here in the Muskegon area. We really have 4 pillars that allow students to use and become eligible for our promise dollars, and that is to live within our boundaries, graduate from one of our high schools with a 3.5 grade point average or higher, apply with or for financial aid utilizing the free application for federal student aid, and enroll locally. It's really that simple. We are going to have another one of our Paying for College Future Focus series later that is all things promise. So on March 16, if you want to jot that date down and save it, I will be hosting another one of our webinars that is all things promise and sharing some of that information. But before I move on to the next couple of slides, Dana, do you want to talk a little bit about the promise and the Community Foundation and how those scholarships work and what we're telling students? If they're Promise Scholars, what should they do with an application at the Community Foundation?
Yes, and first of all, I want to say what a great job Megan has done with the Promise. She is very focused and very excited about the program, and we're really glad that that's available to students in our area. But what we encourage students, if you are definitely thinking of taking the Muskegon Promise, you should not apply to our scholarship program, because if you were awarded a scholarship, you would forfeit that scholarship if we know that you're going to take advantage of the promise. But if you're kind of on the fence, you're not quite sure, just go ahead and apply. And again, if you were awarded a scholarship, we would just have to tell you to wait until you're done at MCC and then reapply again. And then you can do it that way.
Yeah, really good points. And, you know, we get a lot of questions about, well, why is that? The promise is valued at a lot of money. And so it is definitely adequate money to get a student through their 2-year community college experience or the first 2 years at Baker. And, you know, the idea is we want more kids in college, right? And so the promise is covering a certain number of students and the Community Foundation is covering the other amount of students. So we want more of our students from Muskegon area to attend and have opportunity. We don't want the same students getting the same awards, right? So that was really one of the reasons why we went with that partnership. And really important to mention, and I'm glad you did, Dana, the opportunity for a Community Foundation scholarship after they've completed their Promise Award. So super, super important for our scholars to remember as they're continuing their education in years 3 and 4 is certainly look up the Community Foundation for Muskegon County and try to tap into some dollars that'll be helpful in later years. So thank you for that reminder. I just want to point out a couple of other things and resources for scholarships. I just feel like we have so many with wonderful things to share. All of our students here in the county from all of our high schools have access to a career development platform called Zello. And Zello is their EDP, their Educational Development Plan platform. It allows them to understand a little bit more about themselves. It allows them to highlight their goals, to research colleges, to research careers, what do they want to do, and things of that nature. And we also house scholarships in the platform. So every junior and senior under our college planning pillar has the opportunity to search scholarships in Zello. Community Foundation is one of them that's in there. Muskegon Area Promise is one of them that's in there. But we also have other local opportunities like the Rotary Club or the Lions Club or the Women's Division of the Chamber, right? All kinds of opportunities do exist within our Zello platform. So as students, I encourage you, jump onto Zello, take a look under the college planning pillar, and you'll find some great options. If you're a parent listening tonight, ask your son or daughter about Zello. Get them to show you that and maybe perhaps look at some of those resources together. And the last thing I want to mention is College Board. College Board is a wonderful tool that our students begin using as young as 8th grade. And College Board is our hub and our house for everything advanced placement and everything SAT. Okay, from Khan Academy to SAT, understanding what or how to download a transcript for the score reports that they might need, as well as college searching. And believe it or not, College Board also has what they call opportunity scholarships. And it's a really cool timeline or series of scholarships that they've created to help students walk through steps of getting to that next step. And so I want to share another video about what the opportunity scholarships are and how it works. And then I'll show you a little bit more on how to find them.
Everyone's path to college is unique. Some are filled with twists and turns, some start in unexpected places, and some go further than ever seemed possible. Each journey is different, but there are steps every student should take. So we created the College Board Opportunity Scholarships, a program open to every student that guides you through the college planning process and gives you an opportunity to earn scholarships for every step you take. Complete them all and you can earn the biggest reward, a $40,000 scholarship. Okay, so what are the steps? Step 1, build your college list. It'll change along the way, but it's important to start exploring. So just jump in. Step 2, practice for the SAT on Khan Academy. Practice is something you already know how to do, and Khan Academy makes it easy. Step 3, explore scholarships. Discover opportunities that are perfect for you. You might be surprised by what else is out there. Step 4, strengthen your college list. A balanced list with a variety of options gives you the best chance to find the right one for you. Step 5, complete the Fafsa. There are millions of students every year who are eligible for financial aid, but just don't complete their application. It's only about an hour of work, and at the end of it, you could get thousands to help pay for college. Step 6, apply to colleges. Because after all your hard work, an amazing opportunity could be just around the corner. The College Board Opportunity Scholarships. Learn more at cb.org/opportunity.
So those 6 steps begin in their junior year, and many of our high school counselors are already shouting this off the rooftops for their juniors as they begin to look at some of these steps. And the $40,000 scholarship, you know, Michigan is not foreign to winning. Last year we had 2 students from Michigan win that $40,000 scholarship. So really great opportunity that I'm super excited to be able to share. Again, hyperlinked in our materials is the College Board Opportunity Scholarship website. It walks students through how to create a College Board account if they haven't done so already. Many of our students will have already done that though, again, because of the PSATs or any of the My Bright Future stuff that their high schools are really talking them through. So cool things for our students. And that's it. That we're wrapping that up. I want to make sure before we get to questions that I just remind folks that Dana and I, while we were your hosts this evening, we do have so many more experts in the field and working in our high schools. Our high school counselors are there as your experts in the field, and our college advisors working in many of our high schools are also there as your experts to lean on. You will receive some follow-up materials from us via email, the slide deck included, a survey on how our future focused event went for you tonight, any feedback that you want to provide for us on making sure that it's better. And you can certainly link to our YouTube channel as well as we look to make sure that we're providing you with as much information as possible. So Dana, I'm going to take a moment now just to review my chat and see if I've got anything that came in. I do have a here. This is a good one. Can a student change their community foundation scholarship application after it's been submitted?
If it's before the February 1st deadline, you just need to email me and I can open it back up for editing. If
Got
it's
it.
afterward, just let me know and I can change it in our system. So,
Got it. Got it. I'm not sure why they would want to change it, or maybe you know what my mind goes to is maybe college choice. Are they still?
Yes, I'll get several. I changed my mind and yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. How about, this is another great one. We kind of opened with this. College is expensive. Okay. I want to go to a pretty expensive school. Can I earn more than one scholarship to help me pay for it?
Usually we try to just give one scholarship out per student, not divvy them up together, just so we can spread the wealth. But sometimes if there's a particular student that's just for a student, let's say, going into nuclear scientist, you know, whatever, 2 scholarships, and they're the only person that applied, then they're going to get both scholarships.
Yes, got it. So I'm just trying to get my questions back up. I popped them off and then my mouse left me. You know, part of what we had chatted about, like with the Muskegon Community College scholarships or even Baker, is they can stack, right? They might be able to use a scholarship from the foundation plus an institutional scholarship from the colleges, right? And be able to stack. We do that with the Promise as well. Students attending Baker College get a Promise scholarship as well as a Baker College scholarship, and that helps round out to a near zero cost for our students. So it might not be stackable, let's say, with your particular awards that you give away, but it can, right? If the awards are earned from other sources. Another great reason to apply for as much as you can.
Yes. We also have, like, sometimes we have scholarships in particular field of study, like law enforcement, and we don't get any applicants. So then that scholarship just sits back in the fund. So yeah, I mean, definitely should apply.
Yeah, good advice there. Will I have to interview for a scholarship?
No, we used to do that several years ago, and we found that we had volunteers that interviewed the students, and they gave each student the highest rating. So it wasn't really part of us making a selection based on their interview score. And a lot of the students were very nervous about it. It was just terrible for us. We just felt bad for them. So we kind of figured, let's not put them through that interview process. They'll do some interviewing after they get out of college and things like that.
Gotcha. Yeah, I remember being part of those panels and being part of those interviews, and it's a lot of work. And you're right. I do remember a lot of anxiety. Our students were very nervous about it. So, well, those are the questions that I had that came in. Thank you so much for helping me to answer them. As I had mentioned, our slide deck and our resources will be available to our attendees tonight, as well as a follow-up survey. Dana, thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful evening, those of you who joined us, and happy holidays ahead.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you attending. Thanks,
Bye.
Megan. Bye.